really what we're building at the end of the day is clean water for that community that we're working in.
Usually you have to have a certain amount of water in a community before they allow that community to expand.
A well-constructed water resource project has a lasting impact on a community.
Being able to take dirty water and turn it into clean water, we're trying to help out the communities that we build these projects for.
Hey, well, let's go down to the river, let's go see the fish, let's go fishing. It's those sorts of things that without these jobs you may not have.
You're affecting everybody in your community. It's not just one income bracket, it's not just one group of citizens, it's everybody. And that really makes me feel good when I'm involved in these projects. We're giving back to our community. So water resource projects for Shook Construction involve the renovation and construction of both new and existing water treatment plants and wastewater treatment plants.
And without the water resource projects, both on the water side and the wastewater side, communities can't grow, so they can't build that infrastructure. It may not be necessarily adding new infrastructure per se, but upgrading what they already have to make sure that it's up to new standards, better technology, again, better water effluent quality, whatever it might be.
So, not only to provide safe drinking water, but also businesses would look at the ability to produce safe drinking water, or the ability to get rid of wastewater, if they're going to choose to come to that location.
Usually facilities are designed for 30 to 40 year life cycle, but for the most part it's an institutional facility.
The majority of our projects are intricate, detailed jobs. They span anywhere from 18 to 36 months. Yeah, very, very detailed, a lot of coordination.
So conceptual estimating is important because as we're putting together a budget early on in the design phases of the project, the owner really they want to know, what is this project going to cost? And they don't want any surprises later on as the design has progressed.
So we get involved to really flush out for them budget questions, constructability questions, coordination questions, sequence, all the little decisions that they need to make to put something in place. And really it's that collaboration that pulls it all together. It's pretty fun.
Continuous estimating is critical to give the owner the constant barometer and pulse of where the project budget is at.
So if the owner comes up with an idea and wants to understand the cost implications, we price that out for them. And if that works, maybe we proceed to the next step with it.
The value engineering is really a critical evaluation of all the components and scope of the project and relaying information to the designers and the owner of any cost savings that may be relevant to those scope items.
So we go through a pretty rigorous process of evaluating a lot of standard items throughout a project.
It could be changes in material, it could be changes in the way something is done. It could be phasing on the project.
And that gives us a chance to really go to the client and pitch them ideas that really have an opportunity to save them a lot of money.
Then an owner's able to add more scope back into their project.
So the collaborative project delivery method is our internal controls to ensure that we are maintaining progress to finish the job on time, on budget, and to a level of quality and standard of care of which we would expect to leave the owner with.
So for Shook Construction, modeling is really the whole process of taking 2D drawings that we get from an engineer and then producing a 3D model out of those.
When the superintendent and even the foreman are in that room and in that session, they're forced to look at every section cut, every detail of the contract drawings. So their minds are already thinking about how they're going to do it, the sequence that it's going to take, as well as the people and the other resources that they're going to need to do it.
And with that model, that really provides more accurate estimating. It also provides us the ability to build a more accurate schedule to provide to our owners and our engineers, and to identify better value management and value engineering ideas.
It lets you take that shape and you can roll it around, you can look underneath it, you can look inside it, you can zoom in, you can put yourself down inside the structure that you're going to be building. And It lets you identify problems months and months in advance instead of hitting that roadblock when you're right there in the process of forming a wall up or setting a piece of equipment.
It's also allowing us to coordinate all the other trades, equipment, materials, anything like that that is purchased specifically for that job gets put into the model and ends up being a real-life example of what you're going to build.
But what's even more amazing is really getting to play with it as you build the job. So if we have changes that are made to avoid an obstruction, I can go back in and add those into the 3D model.
From a technology standpoint, we are able to utilize our estimating software to quickly generate costs and budget decisions.
We can check the job as we build it. We can sit down with the owner and show them the job before there's even a shovel in the ground. I mean, it's that sort of money savings, the time savings, that is a massive benefit to the owner.
So the relationships are key in any project, because at the end of the day, we're all people working together towards a common goal.
Whether we're working with the chief engineer of the plant or, someone on their maintenance crew, they need to be able to work with us, coordinate with us, collaborate with us, and those relationships are absolutely critical.
We really like to develop a day-to-day communication process with our owners and the engineers that we're working with on these alternative delivery projects. We provide constant feedback on any design changes, material price changes. That's a collaborative process that really gains the owner's trust, and they understand that we're looking out in their best interest.
The term forever relationship is that. It's from the beginning through construction, through startup, and turnover of the facility. Forever means that we're always going to be here.
I mean, it's an amazing day when you can sit down with an owner and say, hey, here's a problem that you guys might run into. Do you want to make a change? And we can work through that process.
I think what we have different through the CPD process is the idea that on a weekly basis, we are challenging the project teams to continually look down the field, look forward in the schedule, and make sure that we are streamlined for the approach.
We see it as a long-term investment, that we're going to take this journey and build this capital improvements project, and we want it to be successful for you after we leave. And we are going to give you the keys to go and run it, provide the water that your community needs, but we want that relationship to continue and throughout post-building and turning over of the facility.